So what's really interesting about these rock faces, which go all the way down to Brantôme along the river. So we're here in the central courtyard, which is between the Renaissance chateau on my left and the medieval chateau with its dungeon on my right. So we're here today in Bourdeilles, which is in the Périgord region in the Dordogne. I really wanted to show you this place because it is such a hidden gem. Most people will go to Brantôme or Overlooking because they're really big tourist attractions and wonderful villages, as you've probably seen in some of our previous videos. But this little gem is not that well known. It's in between the two, between Brantôme and Overlooking. It's on the Dronne River, but it's absolutely stunning. There's 7 chateaux just in this little village, it's this little town itself. Behind me you can see the Renaissance chateau, which also has a dungeon and some amazing things that you can actually go and visit. Some of these buildings here date back to the 12th century, like the chateau behind me here, which is so pretty. I'm going to take you around the town and we're going to go and have some lunch, and I'm going to show you all the lovely places that you must come and visit, because this truly is a superb little gem. This beautiful chateau behind me was originally built in the 15th century and extended again in the 16th century. It's known as the Chateau de Sénéchaux, and the Sénéchaux are a kind of bailiff, as it would be called in English, that used to be governed by the King of France, for example. This particular chateau in Bourdeilles is family owned now. It has 2 beautiful gîtes that are open all year round, so it's definitely worth you coming to Bourdeilles. What a fabulous place to stay. And if you look at the architecture, it's really like a fairy tale. It is just so gorgeous. On the other side of the chateau is the River Dronne, so an absolutely perfect setting, full of history, and it's actually a monument historic, which means it is protected and it is a historical monument in itself. So one of the places you must visit when you come to Bourdeilles is this fantastic castle. It was actually originally built in the 9th century and it went back centuries ago, and the monks of Brantôme Abbey used to take refuge here. Then with the 100 Years' War, some of it got destroyed and it was rebuilt again in the Renaissance period. So inside these walls we have another chateau which was from the 15th, 16th century. At some stage it was in the 100 Years' War, and during religious wars it was closed down completely, and luckily in 1962 the last Baron, the Baron of Bourdeilles, gave the chateau to the city and to the people of Dordogne, and now it's been fully restored and you can come and visit it. And inside the Renaissance chateau there's some amazing furniture and tapestries. It's so worth a visit. We're not going to go around it today, but we'll have a little peek just for a few minutes. So we're here in the central courtyard, which is between the Renaissance chateau on my left and the medieval chateau with its dungeon on my right. And in the summer, it hosts films, so you can come along with the children. It's completely free. You've got the stars in the sky, and on the back wall of the old dungeon there, they put films on. So it's a really gorgeous place. What a backdrop to come and watch a film. So we're here in one of the central squares in Bourdeilles, right next to the castle, which is fantastic, such a beautiful setting. And behind me you can see that the lunch has just started. So people are coming in, you can come for coffee. There's lots of little artisan shops, ice cream shops, absolutely everything is here. It's such a lovely place to visit. We're going to go and have lunch ourselves in a minute on the river. And there are 5 restaurants here in Bourdeilles to choose from. So there's plenty of choice, but just make sure you book early. Just look at the architecture we have here. This house we sold a couple of years ago. It's just beautiful. Look at the stonework. They just don't make buildings like this anymore. And the old door. So this fantastic piece of architecture here, this lovely door. And Bourdeilles is just full of properties like this. We've got one on the river that we will show you later on. But you've got these little cobbled streets, so you can go up the back of them and you've got different views of the chateau, different views of the Renaissance chateau. It's a really, really wonderful piece of history. This beautiful building was absolutely vacant and it was just all locked up and closed up for many, many years. And now it's been beautifully restored over the last couple of years. And it's now regites that you can actually rent and come and stay in the town. Again, fabulous 19th century architecture. So here we're on this lovely historical bridge, and behind me you've got the best view ever. You've got the Renaissance chateau, the medieval chateau. This little gite on the bridge can be rented out. It's part of the Hotel Griffon, and if you're a Harry Potter fan, you'll know that that's the dragons, the bird dragons, and that's called the Hotel Le Griffon. It's a gastronomic restaurant, so it's really, really good to come and have lunch, and also it's just a perfect setting on the river here. Such a lovely place to stay. So this bridge was originally constructed in 1335 in the 14th century, but there was a huge flood in the 17th century where it took most of the bridge out, and it's been reconstructed, and it's called the before and after bridge because if you can see these triangular cuts into the bridge stop it from flooding, so it is much stronger. But back in the medieval times there would actually have been a drawbridge here that would have been gone up and down and covered the river for the chateau, for the old castle part of the medieval chateau. So it's a really interesting piece of history, and you know it was restored in 1780, but you know that's the 18th century 300 years ago. Here's another little hidden gem. It's a wooden structure restaurant and it's right on the river. They were formed in the 19th century and they're known as ganguettes. So if you ever see a ganguette, you know that it's a little wooden hut or a little wooden restaurant that's built on the river. And now we're going to go and have some lunch. It's absolutely fabulous here. And just behind me, you'll see there's a lovely little row of houses just underneath the Renaissance chateau there. We've actually had quite a lot of them for sale over the past years. And one of them just on the end here, which is in a lovely location. It's got private mooring, 140 square metres of house, and it's set just on the river there. And the great thing about this river is you can kayak all the way to Brantôme, and the scenery, as you can see, it's a rock face that the chateau is built on there, goes all the way up to Brantôme, so it's full of nature. You can get off and have a picnic, to meet friends and family. It's such a lovely area, and that little house up there is for sale, so if anyone's interested in this beautiful town, that's the one to buy. So this is one of the lovely spots where if you take a kayak all the way from Brantôme, it's a 13-kilometre run down. The kayaks come back in here. You can also swim in this area. It's a really nice area for swimming, so you can drop off your kayak, which they'll pick back up and take back to Brantôme, and you have this lovely area for swimming when you get out the boat as well. So here, every Wednesday, this field behind me in the summer is full of producteurs for selling lots of food. You can come and have a picnic. The river's quite low at this time of year because it's the summer and we've had very high temperatures, which is great though because it makes it very safe for children. The children can run along, paddle in the river, come and have a picnic, and it's just a wonderful place to be. We were lucky enough to come and have a look at the house that we've got for sale here on the river, which is absolutely beautiful. There's some renovation work going on and builders kindly let us come and have a look at it. What a great place, and it's much bigger than it looked from the other side of the river. And these places, they're just amazing. I mean, you can see that this house has been built into the rock face. Imagine having this in your kitchen. And the temperature in here is so lovely and cool compared to what it is outside. So in here, the temperature drops. It's lovely and cool in here. And just look at this. This is just fabulous. Imagine having the rock face in the house is actually built onto the rock face just underneath the chateau. And so this is the entrance hall, which you come in, there's a little back street here, which is just literally underneath the castle and the chateau up there, and a little bit of parking. So this is a fabulous sitting room with a balcony overlooking the river. At some stage, this must have been an old kitchen, I would imagine. It probably would have had a sink there. I think this is absolutely my favourite spot in this house that we have for sale. Look at the view. You've got the old watermill there on the left, you've got the chateau and the castle to the right, the river at front, and it's so lovely and cool here. But if you want details on this property, you can have a look in the link below and you'll see all the details on our website. But before we finish our tour of Bourdeilles, we're just going to go along to the other side of the village. So it's great, this little street, you don't even know this little street is there. And then these great houses on the river are just tucked away. It's a real treat to go and have a look at that one, what you've got for sale. Even tempted to buy it myself. So what's really interesting about these rock faces, which go all the way down to Brantôme along the river, I mean, at one stage they would have been underwater. This would have been underwater in prehistoric times. But what's really interesting is if you look at the rock carefully, you can see holes and marks and boulders, and that's where the Troglodytes would have lived, because they would have had houses built into the rock and they would have come out here, probably going along to the river. You can still see one of the houses at the end of the road here, the roof line, and the roof line's all the way along here, and the beam holes suggest that that's where the houses would have been built. But you can still see some of these houses where people are still actually living them in Les Ezies and also in Brantôme. As you might have seen on the old tour, some of the shops are actually built into the caves, and it's a lovely, cool place to be in the summer. So as we come back up here, you'll see some of the gardens of the Sénéchaux Chateau. And this part of the Sénéchaux Chateau is actually the Fisherman's Lodge, and aptly named because it's sitting on the river. So can you guess what's behind this little door? Looks like there's nothing, or it's just a cupboard. Actually, behind this is way underneath the chateau. There's 1,000 square meters of cellars, and it's where they keep their wine. So behind me here, you'll see part of the old castle, the old part of the chateau, and behind me used to be the dungeons. So we're going to go and have a look at the entrance there. So this is quite impressive, although I doubt it was for the prisoners who might have been kept in here at one stage. Nowadays it's not used as a dungeon, it's used for art festivals, they have art displays, they have sculptures and things like that. So it's used as a kind of exhibition centre. So that brings me to the end of our lovely tour of this beautiful gem of a town called Bourdeilles. But there are so many of these beautiful towns in France, and that's what makes France the most visited country in the world for tourism, because everywhere you go, you'll drive through and you'll find these wonderful, wonderful towns and villages. So it's a beautiful place to live, hence why I live here myself. And if you're interested in living here or finding a little holiday home like we saw today in Bourdeilles, check out the links below. You can get a link to our website, and do subscribe to our channel because we'll be discovering loads more of these beautiful towns along the way.